Hi, welcome to Above the Rest Outdoors. This week's show, it's all about bears. We're going to be chasing these guys, and we've got some bear action this week that puts these bears up close and personal. Enjoy the show. So we're on our way to Canada. We've been doing this for the last 3 years, I guess, going back to hunt with our good buddy Grant Kuipers and Buck Paradise Outfitters. The trip up,
spectacular.
It is. It's. I mean, it doesn't get any better than the mountains, the scenery, the animals. It's just, it's almost worth what you pay for hunting with an outfitter just to have the drive up there. So you got to get across the border. Not a big deal. But this year we're going up with a whole camp of all of our friends. And on top of that, Grant McGraw is going to meet us there. Well, you've seen Grant before. Last year, me and Grant were in the same tree together. Yeah, he was actually my cameraman. But since he had never killed a bear before, we actually let him shoot first. And he killed a off-color bear, not a real big bear. So this year, Grant has set his sights. He said, I'm only killing a big black bear. I said, okay, we'll see. But as you know, with Canada and with Grant's operation, you never know how many bears you might see. So holding off for the particular bear that you want, sometimes it's not quite that easy. So let's watch Grant go on his bear hunt. Remember, he's looking for a big black one.
We're back in Saskatchewan for our second year in a row for a spring bear hunt. It's the first day of the trip. We just got in last night. They just got the baits all freshened up. Been getting some good pictures apparently of some good bears, so I guess we'll sit here and wait it out and see what happens. Stay tuned. I was coming up my tree. A little too close. I think he likes me.
This is high-speed footage of the Ripcord Code Red and a competitor's fall-away arrow rest. Both fall as designed, but watch what happens to each launcher arm after fall-away. Ripcord's drop-dead brake stops any launcher bounce back, while the competitor's launcher arm bounces back up into the arrow. This will affect arrow flight and broadhead accuracy. Eliminate launcher bounce back with Ripcord Code Red, the #1 fall-away rest.
Sleep better for less during the 4th of July sales event at Sleep City. Hi, I'm Jennifer Hagan. Recharge your body with the new Beautyrest mattress set. Choose from True Energy, Comfortpedic Loft, or the new Beautyrest Black Beyond. And get 2 free memory foam pillows and free recharge temperature controlling sheets. Start living your life fully charged on a new mattress from Sleep City.
Improving America's sleep. Sleep City.
I always took my quiver off.
I always took my quiver off.
I used to hunt with my quiver off.
Why do so many bow hunters detach their quivers? To avoid accuracy-affecting torque. Tight Spot is the first low-torque quiver. It fits tight to your bow, is extremely lightweight, and means virtually no torque.
Now, I hunt with my Tight Spot quiver on.
It acts as a stabilizer.
You'll shoot better with your tight spot quiver on than you ever did with your old quiver off.
Tight Spot, the quiver that fits tight to your bow.
We just put the hex on one and smoked them.
He really doesn't need to smell my hat, does he?
Hex Stealth Screen, scientifically changing the way hunters stay undetected.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.
Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Well, Grant's furry friend finally moved on, and now Grant is going to have to see if he can stick to his guns. He said he was only going to shoot a big black bear, but this is a beautiful chocolate bear that's coming in. Well, Grant decided to pass on that chocolate sow on the first day, but here she comes again. The great thing about having other bears around your bait is they tell you when another bear is coming. And in Grant's situation, it holds true. This sow sees something coming. Well, that something is the bear that Grant's been waiting for.
Smacked a nice black bear. I decided to let the brown bear go. She was a good bear, but I knew we had pictures of a black bear that was a little bit bigger and a little nicer. And I made a decision. I pulled back on her and just decided to let her go. It's only my second night here, and just was hoping this one would come in and get a good clean shot, and just ended up putting an arrow through him. And he's down right over here, so we'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll go check him out.
Well, Grant gambled, and it paid off. He killed not only a black bear, but he killed a giant black bear. Way to go, Grant. Now, Karin and I are still got tags here, so we're going to switch gears a little bit, and Karin and I are going to climb into a tree.
We gotta have hangers everywhere. I've gotta put one in here. Karen's gotta put one in. And then an extra one for my bow in the back, plus what they have for limbs. And we have something hanging off of all of them.
It's my first evening bear hunt at Bug Paradise. Beautiful evening. Sun's shining. It's warm. I have no idea what the temperature is, but it's beautiful. David and I are in the same tree stand together. And I'm pretty excited. I think that this looks like a really good spot. I have no idea what's been coming to this bait, but my goal this afternoon is just to check out and see what we've got going on around here and be patient. Let's see if I can be patient. But that's the goal.
Well, just like normal at Buck Paradise, we had bears show up right away. But it kind of died after that. And it wasn't until right before dark when a couple more bears showed up. Now, these bears are in range. The problem is we just don't have enough light to be able to take an ethical shot.
I can't pick a spot. He's just a big black blob.
I couldn't agree with Karin more. Spending the time in the outdoors with your family, nothing compares to it. But we are hunting in Canada right now. We have been sitting in this tree for a lot of time, but we've got some bears coming now. So the problem with this spot that we're sitting in is we can't film these bears until they get right on top of us. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of footage of them coming in, but that's okay because they come close.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.
One low price, plain and simple always. It's the philosophy that sets our dealership apart. Hi, I'm Jared Gandard, owner of Kalispell Toyota. Our philosophy came from you. We listened to what you liked and disliked about buying a vehicle. You'll find our best price clearly displayed on every vehicle on our lot. No back and forth, no sales gimmicks. 18 or 80, good credit or not so good. You'll get the same best price up front, in writing, every day. Best price, another reason why Kalispell Toyota is #1 in Northwest Montana.
Independent tests confirm that the pins on a black gold are 20% brighter than the next brightest bow sight. So bright that we had to use photochromatic technology to dim the pins in bright light. In low light, while the pins on other bow sights are growing dim, the pins on a black gold sight are still perfectly bright. Be the last one out of the woods at night. Get a black gold sight.
Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. This week's hot topic, patience, persistence, and trust your guide. When you go on one of these guided hunts, you really need to trust the guy that's taking you. A lot of times as hunters, we want to take over. We want to just jump in and do it the way we always do it. But if you'll trust that guy that you're paying, he'll know those animals. He'll know those places where you need to be so that you can have a successful hunt. I mean, it proved to be exactly what Karin and I were looking for. We trusted our guide, and on that third day, when he told us to go back to that stand, it paid off in a big way. Patience and persistence would be Grant McGraw on his hunt. He went up to Canada and he said, I'm only going to shoot a great big black bear. And he was presented with an opportunity to shoot a chocolate sow that almost all of us would have shot. And he held off. And look what it did for him. So patience, persistence, and trusting your guide. If you'll remember those three things, you'll probably take home the trophy that you're looking for. If you'd like more information or more helpful hints, you need to visit us on our website at AboveTheRestOutdoors.com. Or you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
I just got beautiful, beautiful chocolate. Now I'm shaking in my shoes. Bye, look at my...
So Karin has killed her bear. She's made a great shot, And all we're doing is discussing, do we get down and get the bear, or do we wait and see if we can kill another one? I don't like to be greedy. I mean, we've got a bear, and we'd like to bring the recovery to you and everything in daylight hours. While we're having that discussion, it couldn't have been 2 to 3 minutes after you shot your bear, here comes another one. And so this bear is coming in, and I don't have anything ready. And if you could see the chaos going on in this tree.
Big one. Yes. Is it the big one from the other night? Oh, Lordy. I got to get this release on. I wish I could show you.
How bad you're shaking.
I wish I could show you how confusing it is in this tree where we're at. Because we were set up for Karin to shoot a bear. She's in the shooting stand. And she shot a bear about an hour ago. Right after she shoots it and we do her interview and stuff. Look over and I see a bear coming. And I said, this looks like a big bear. My head up.
Holy moly, he's freaking huge. He was the biggest bear I've ever killed.
We've had a fabulous time. We've had great people to share our time with and great bears.
That's impressive.
Wow. That was a good experience.
Yeah.
I'm certainly glad I let that first one go. I was about ready to pull the trigger and just decided to see what happened. And I'm certainly glad I did.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. You definitely want to tune in next week as I take my oldest son Warren and we head to Wyoming for some archery antelope action.
One low price, plain and simple always. It's the philosophy that sets our dealership apart. Hi, I'm Jared Gandard, owner of Kalispell Toyota. Our philosophy came from you. We listened to what you liked and disliked about buying a vehicle. You'll find our best price clearly displayed on every vehicle on our lot. No back and forth, no sales gimmicks. 18 or 80, good credit or not so good. You'll get the same best price up front, in writing, every day. Best price, another reason why Kalispell Toyota is #1 in Northwest Montana.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.